Hello and welcome to ATS, otherwise known as All Things Shooting. Now today we're going to be talking about three different 22 cartridges. And at first you might think they're really not comparable, and why are you comparing these? So the first one is a 22 Magnum by CCI. It's a hollow point. It's a lead nose bullet that has a copper jacket. And it's a 40 grain bullet and is traveling at 1,875 feet per second. Now, the rating on the box for the velocity is out of a rifle for all of these. So we're going to be shooting it out of a Heritage Rough Rider handgun, a revolver. So the velocity will be less, but we're mostly interested in penetration. So again, 40 grain, jacketed hollow point at 1,875 feet per second. Now this is just a 22 long rifle. It's called a Copper 22, and the bullet on this is not lead. It's a composite of copper and polymer. It's got a little hole in the center, but it's not meant to open up. This one is traveling at 1,850 feet per second. 21 grain, 1,850 feet per second, which is only 25 feet per second less than the Magnum. It is a smaller round. It's 21 grain opposed to 40 grain. And then the third one is the CCI Stinger. This one is a 32 grain, jacketed hollow point, traveling at 1,640 feet per second. Again, it's a lead nose bullet with a copper jacket, and it's a hollow point. So, what do you think will penetrate the furthest or the deepest? The medium we're going to be using is 12 3/16 inch catalogs. When you strap them together with tape, it's about 2 inches. And that's a pretty dense material, not like a body or an animal, but we're just looking at sheer penetration today and see what will penetrate the deepest. So go ahead and pause the video and write down in the comments whether you think the Maxi-Mag, the Copper, or the Stinger will penetrate the deepest. And then you go ahead and start the video again. We're going to go out to the range and shoot it and see what happens. See you at the range. Okay, we're out at the range, and we're going to go ahead and shoot that medium that I was talking about. Let me show you exactly what that looks like. Okay. So I have two sets here, actually. We're not going to need those two sets, I'm absolutely sure. But what they are is they're catalogs that are about 3/16 of an inch thick. And strapped together here, it's about 2 inches, a little over 2 inches. And I really don't think that any of these rounds are going to penetrate all of those. This is a very dense material. It's material that's a lot denser than anything you would probably shoot. But I just wanted to see what the penetration is like, what will penetrate the deepest, especially between the 22 Copper and the 22 Magnum. Now what we don't know is if the 22 Copper is going to fragment or if it's going to penetrate. So that's what we'll see. We're going to try and put the CCI Stingers up here, the Copper in the middle, and the Magnum on the bottom. So we'll come back after we've shot it, and we'll see what it looks like. And this is what we're going to be shooting. This is the Heritage Rough Rider. It's a 4 3/4 inch barrel. And we can use the 22 long rifle and the Magnum out of this. So that'll make it fair. And now 2 rounds of the CCI Copper in the middle. And now the 22 Magnum. Okay, I just cut the tape off the sides. As you can see, no pass-through, which doesn't surprise me. So now let's start peeling back the pages and see what's going on. Again, we've got the Stinger, the Copper, and the Magnum. Okay. Okay, so this is 2 books right here. Okay, I can start to see the copper right here in the middle. We fired 2 shots of each. See, there's the 2 Stinger, the 2 copper, and the 2 Magnum. Now, it's interesting that I see the copper already. It seems like the Stinger and the Magnum went further than the copper, even though these two have the velocity of almost the same. And it looks like there's the bullet right there. So it looks like it just broke in half. Actually went pretty deep. There it is right there. Actually, both of them are right there. So both, one broke apart and the other one did not. So we penetrated probably about 3/4 of an inch. And it looks like the CCI Stinger is in parts over here. And the Magnum is still back in here. So the copper went about 3/4. Now I see fragments from the Magnum and the Stinger. It's a pretty good wound cavity right there. Look at that. All right, so here's your Stinger. It's in fragments. Your Magnum definitely had more power. Look at that. Look at that dent. You see that dent right there? I'm outside. It's hard to see the camera. But that's some pretty good penetration. That's probably a little more than I anticipated. Okay, here's the Magnum. So the Magnum went probably an inch. You see them right there. I hope you can see this. And it looks like the Stinger actually went the furthest. The Stinger is still way back there. Look at that. Unbelievable. The bullets are right here. These are the 2 rounds. I'll get it out of here without cutting myself. So they pretty much disintegrated. And then the damage. And still with the Magnum we have damage here, but the bullet didn't go that far. So we went through just about 1.5 inches with the Stinger. So the Stinger went further than the Magnum, and the copper went the least amount. Amazing result. I'm surprised. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, click like. Put any comments at the bottom or questions, and we'll see you next time.